The other thing we did for the first time this year is actually did on our campus, put on a business fair, inviting businesses from downtown onto our campus so our students become aware of those businesses. I think increasingly we want to push our students downtown to shop and engage in certain activities. Obviously, the more those shops cater to the types of things our students are interested in, the more likely that's going to happen. But we had a great turnout, both in terms of numbers of businesses that came to campus and the student turnout. The students were wildly enthusiastic and said things to me afterwards like, I had no idea we had some of these businesses in town. So I think increasingly we need to get the word out. We're certainly committed to do that at Wittenberg.
The economic ripple effect from Wittenberg and the hospital is going to be phenomenal. Beyond that, we've got an A-team in place. We were named as one of the top site locations in the United States. The state of Ohio was named the top site location. So the potential's here. And with Tom Franzen, Mike McDorman, and David Zach, and their enthusiasm, you're going to continue to see this transformation. We haven't lost near the jobs in the last 6 years that other communities have. We just fell in a hole in 2000 with International Harvester, and we're still crawling out of that one. But I'm very optimistic in the long range.
Any other questions?
Could the panel discuss the impact of the receding rail connectivity?
The question is, what will the impact of the 3C rails from Cincinnati, Cleveland to Columbus do for this area? Well, they're estimating at least 12 passengers a day to start. It'll put us on a main hub of activity, and it looks like it's going to happen because the governor's pushing it hard, and they're going to have to do some adjustments for it, but it can't hurt us. 150 years ago, we had 200 trains a day coming in and out of Clark County. Today, you're lucky to have 20 a day.
It goes back to becoming a destination town, I believe. I think long-term, if we were to put stimulus money in one area, this is, as a state, this is where I would put it. I think we're a huge benefactor of Springfield along that corridor because we are developing a great quality of life here in our community, and people could live here and work somewhere else. And that way we could grow our sales tax base and grow other bases of economic activity in the community. So it brings a whole plethora of opportunities to our community, I believe, long-term, where we just do not have that today. We used to be the hub 100 years ago. We lost that. The rail was the generator of that hub. And so if we can bring rail opportunities through a passenger rail system back to our community, I believe long-term it's a wonderful opportunity for us.
I want to insert a question here. One important part of our playbook is this experimentation government reform, and by that we mean in part looking at regional collaboration. And one of the things we know needs to be done at the state level is to remove barriers. There are legal and other barriers to that. What's happening in this region, city, county wise, and otherwise to collaborate regionally?
This community, I think, has been a leader in this whole area. CETA agreement is probably the clearest example of that. We in Springfield Township used to try to kill each other regularly over annexation. We now have an agreement that eliminates that. Now we have to keep educating township trustees and county commissioners about what that agreement says, but it is a classic example of working out cooperation. We combined our health departments. We tried to combine our parks and recreation, and I'm personally heartbroken that seems to be falling apart. But we have a tradition of working together. I personally favor those solutions at every point, and we need state help doing it. Specific example, we attempted to get the state to agree to maintain US 40 on the east side through the CETA area. I don't know if you understand, but the city has to pay to fix streets, townships don't. That's wrong, in my opinion. But what that meant was when we annexed 40 East, all of a sudden the city had to take care of it instead of the state. The state was taking care of it previously. That's an example of a state law I think needs to be changed in order to make cooperation work. John's gonna have rebuttal.
Money solves a lot of problems. When you have tight economic times, it makes it tough to make decisions. We had to cut 1.2 million out of our budget this past year. In the long range, though, money tightens up and makes you more efficient. And hopefully through consolidation, we've had a very successful track record with the health department. We've tried with the park levy, and it's failed 3 times. It didn't even hit the 52-48%, but I'm very optimistic and think once we get through this economic hiccup, you're going to see some more movement in that direction. We don't need all these duplications of office. In Clark County, you've got 2 areas bigger than the city of Urbana that choose not to have government, Northridge and Park Lane. They use the sheriff's department and the other county agencies to eliminate their situation. I'm not recommending that for the city of Springfield because they are the heart of us all and they are the bulk of our population of over 60,000 people. But we have to make hard decisions in the school area. Do we need 8 treasurers? Do we need 8 superintendents? And unit government has many good aspects, and people will give up their turf when their wallet starts to hurt a little bit. So in the next couple of years, maybe you'll see some more positive changes in that area.
I'm told we need to wrap up. Anyone have a last burning question? Yes.
One more area that we can collaborate in and help each other in and keep more money in the community is by taking a look at the Chamber's Buy Springfield campaign. It's a program that helps educate us as to what impact spending money for goods and services here within Clark County makes. And the U.S. Chamber has done a study that shows dollars spent with a locally owned business turn over 7 times in the community before leaving. So take a look at what Vice Springfield has to offer. There's a speakers bureau. Speakers are available to address meetings and help you learn a little bit about what this can do for the community.
Of every dollar you've got to spend in Clark County, the average person is spending 77 cents here. If you go to Greene County, the average person is spending $1.12. 11 of 88 counties take in more money from outside. We need to keep turning that around with just what you're saying, buy locally.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you to our panelists.